Hey everyone, just wanted to check in and do a quick little video, just providing a brief overview of what to expect this week. This week we're going to be covering Chapter 5, and that's where we'll talk more in depth about encouraging, paraphrasing, and summarizing. And these are all skills of active listening. We talked about attending skills earlier in the semester, and these really all go hand in hand. And we all know what it feels like to not feel that we've been heard or someone's not listening to us. And these are all skills that are crucial for you to have and understand in your everyday life, but particularly with interviewing. We're also going to be doing some activities in the coming week to promote active listening and to demonstrate your skills of active listening. We're going to be talking about, again, encouraging and paraphrasing. We are going to, some of the goals that we'll be covering are really the whole idea is to help clients talk in more detail about their issues or concerns and help prevent the overly talkative client, on the very flip side of the coin, from repeating the same facts over and over. Through these skills of summarizing and paraphrasing, you're going to get a better idea and be able to clarify what is being said with the client. Make sure that you have the right idea, and then they can tell you whether or not. And that's done through a technique we call the checkout. Check on the accuracy of what you hear by someone saying to your clients, and like I said, through the checkout. Some other things that we're going to be talking about is really just defining active listening. What is it? Active listening is defined as it's a communication process that requires intentional participation, decision making, and responding. Now, what I did there, did you hear the emphasis when I said intentional participation? That's what we call a keyword encourager. Or not keyword encourager, but that's verbal underlining. That's where you're really emphasizing something for attention to be placed on a word or an idea that's being expressed. So that's just something I wanted to point out to you. It's something that you probably do and don't even realize it, but now you have a name for it. So what is the big hubbub with active listening? Active listening, it requires your participation. You have to be paying attention and you have to be involved. You hear small changes in thoughts, feelings, in behaviors, and really active listening is about listening to another person and being able to walk in their shoes, to empathize with them as much as possible. And active listening also helps the client to enlarge and enrich their story overall. It helps them to explain. Because if you know, we've all been in these conversations, if you know that you have ever been talking with someone before and you're telling them a little something personal about yourself and you realize they're on their phone, they're not really maintaining eye contact, they're not really paying attention to what you're saying, or they ask you a question and you had already answered that or spoken on that previously the minute before. Think about how that makes you feel. I know I've had that happen to me before, and I know I'm probably guilty of being, being that person that does that too. Usually, whenever that happens to me, I just stop talking. I just wrap up that conversation and I move on to something else. Because why? Why waste your time when you know that you're not being heard? And even the person with the thickest skin, that hurts your feelings. You can't help but for it not to. So how do we encourage through active listening? That's through your gestures, through your phrases, through your body language, even through your head nods, like, okay, when you're moving your head, it doesn't even have to be verbal. It can just be through your body language. Paraphrasing, and that's just basically saying what's been said that you've heard and repeating it back in your own words. And summarizing, it's a little bit different because summarizing is a little bit longer, and that's where you're clarifying and what you've heard, summarizing what you've heard just to make sure that you got it all. And oh, something I want to go back to with summarizing. Most people think that summarizing is only done at the end. That's not true. Summarizing is done throughout the interview, particularly if you have a client that you're meeting with, again, and you've met with them previously. You would want to summarize what happened in the previous interview. Okay, so last time we met, you were telling me that you had a job interview and you were really excited about that, and you were thinking that this could be a big breakthrough for you. You're bridging back to the previous thing. You're using a summary at the beginning, or summarizing at the very beginning. And you also do brief summaries throughout and at the end. So don't think that summarizing is just for the end. Okay, the checkout. This is what you heard me talking about, or I mislabeled earlier. The checkout is really where you're saying something about, so it sounds like you've been really busy and you've been feeling really overwhelmed and you weren't able to make your car payment this month, and you're low on groceries, and you've been really sick. That's a lot. It sounds like I can understand why you would be overwhelmed. Did I get that right? You're kind of checking out for clarity, just to clarify, to make sure that you didn't miss anything. Encouraging, that's just some of these are ways to promote the understanding and to let them know that you're hearing them. It can be keyword choices to lead them into the client to a variety of directions. Now, if you do nothing, if you have no encouragers, that can make you feel like you're uninterested and make you kind of feel cold, and it does not help to expand the story of the client. Paraphrasing is where you're kind of repeating what's been said in your own words. You're using their keywords and the main ideas, but you'll also want to make sure that you have the information right by using a checkout. Another aspect to always consider in your interviewing, because this is intentional interviewing, is diversity. I really don't care what background someone has or identifies with. Everybody wants to be heard. That's just a general respect thing that reaches cross-culturally. Sometimes with clients of various backgrounds, it may take more time to get to know them and to conduct the interview. You'll want to, so how do you can't be an expert in every single thing. I understand that. But it's also important to involve yourself in cultural communities and activities. Get to know people from different backgrounds and do your research. You certainly want to avoid stereotyping. And we know that stereotyping is kind of just categorizing that, for example, one that I hear frequently because I am a blonde is all blondes are dumb, or airheads. Avoid those stereotypes. And also consider gender differences, because men and women are very different in their communication styles. So also, just wanted to check in and let you know that you have another video upload coming up, not this week that we're in, but next week. So just start rallying your troops and doing what needs to get done to so you can do a successful interview involving someone else and have that uploaded. If you ever have questions, I'm here for you. And have a great week. Oh, I've also posted some cute videos demonstrating active listening, and you'll want to check those out. And one of those is a what not to do video clip. So you guys have a great week.